everyone. Welcome.
Welcome back to Casual Conversation with GNA. And today we have conversation 84. No, is it 84? I think it's 84.
Yeah.
If it's wrong, we'll change it.
So, hi, everyone.
Hi, Bama.
Hi. Thank you for joining us, everyone who joins. And yeah, we're here with Conversation 84, Polaroid Ghost. That's the topic for today.
So the Polaroid, I just want to talk a little bit about it. I saw it in a documentary. They talked briefly about the Polaroid. They call it, there's a book, it's called The Ghost Writer, and you can find it on Amazon. But it's kind of creepy. It's a creepy story. We're going to share some pictures. But basically, with this story, there was some guys that had a Polaroid, one of those old school Polaroid picture cameras. And they had paranormal activity in their home. And they started to take pictures of the areas where they would see more of the activity happening. And they ended up capturing a ghost. And the ghost would communicate with them through the Polaroid. So he would write answers to their questions. So.
Wow.
And, I just wanted to say, I know that in the chat we were talking last night in Balt's chat, and I did have a little tumble at work, and my knees got messed up. It hurts. It's getting better though. So, but yeah, that's what happened. So just in case, people wanted to know, that's it. And it was from the stairs. It was stairs, but it was the lower end of the stairs. So thankfully it wasn't
Gloria did take a tumble, but
yeah, thankfully it wasn't from the top of the stairs. Otherwise I would have been done for, right? All right. Well, so I want to say hey, Bama, and hello, the Daily Dan blog. All right. So here we go.
So yeah, we're going to get into the story, right? A little snippet. So on Friday, February 5th, 1993, the Fox TV reality show Sightings examined what may be a landmark discovery in parapsychology, convincing evidence that ghosts exist and can actually communicate with us. Two residents of an old house in the hills of Los Angeles began receiving ghostly messages in Polaroid photographs. The pair started taking photos inside the house in the hope of obtaining a picture of the entity they believe haunted the house.
So, yes. So they basically what happened was the guy said that his house would have doors opening on their own. He would go out and close them, and then they would open again. So he said that in this instance, he closed the door, and then he said that when the door went to open again, he snapped a picture of it, and he captured an image of a ghostly apparition. So I will be sharing that, but I want to get into once it comes up, then I'll share it. But let me say hi to Sue really quick. Hi, Sue. How are you, friend? Thanks for sharing out. Frankie, too sweet. Hey. Yes, Bama. I don't know at what time you guys are going to be going out, but hopefully we're done by then so we can come say hi. Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds cool. So here we go.
So after first capturing a ghostly image on film, the men discovered that if they asked questions about the entity and why it was inhabiting their house, words and messages appeared in response on their film. So far, more than 1,000 photos have captured messages. Photos taken not only by the residents, but by paranormal researchers and other outsiders. A photographic expert at Polaroid has no explanation for the messages. An expert at California's Brooks Institute of Photography can suggest an explanation, but it requires a lengthy setup process and hours of lab work. The ghost or spirit calls himself Right. He shows signs of erudition and intelligence, writing many of his messages in Latin. The ghost first appeared on film in March 1992 after one of the residents kept hearing unexplained noises throughout the house. After a door opened mysteriously, he took a series of photos, several of which revealed a classic ghost-like shape, including dark shadows at the eyes and mouth. The messages began to appear on film in June 1992. The first was in response to a friend's question about the ghost. Is he here now? The photo revealed a barely discernible yes in cloudy white shapes. After that, the writing became far more legible. They were skeptical at first, suspecting a bizarre prank by the film's manufacturer or local distributor or some other technological trickery, such as projected holograms or shaving cream sprayed on the xylophone. The paranormal research teams, similarly skeptical, used their own cameras and their own film to take photos in the house. Their photos also yielded answers to specific psychics visiting independently of each other, agreed that not only this spirit but three others reside in the house. Polaroid Corp representative Howard Wurtzel examined the photographs and could find no physical evidence of tampering. His only explanation for the writing was that it was some form of radiation created by a high energy field.
No, that's dumb. Because it answers questions.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Like there's no way radiation can cause that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So, renowned spiritualist and psychic Peter James was called in to explore this phenomenon, in addition to three other psychics who also lent their insight to this investigation. James visited the house numerous times and believes that it is situated on the grounds of an ancient ritual site and that spirits are definitely trying to communicate with the living. So, this is a quote, right? As he walked around the house, Peter James spotted in one spot he called a spiritual vortex, a kind of doorway through which he felt spirits were entering the house. I feel a very strong vibration. Something is definitely coming up from the floor, he reported. I get a tingling sensation. It's also very cold here. My legs are trembling. It feels like something is coming from below and it's going through my entire body. Then someone snapped several Polaroids of Peter standing in the vortex. In the photos, strange ghostly images appear to surround him. Creepy, right? So most of the photographers on display
Photographs.
My apologies. Most of the photographs on display were taken before Photoshop, the digital imaging and cell phone cameras changed photography. So this was like before this.
Before we had phones.
Yeah. So each Polaroid is original and unique. They show familiar rooms with wispy, feathery tendrils and misty tufts of white substances and amazingly cloud-like writing. Even more extraordinary is the relevance of the words to whatever questions had been asked. Usually a response came in English, but sometimes it appeared in Latin. For example, after questioning the identity of the answering spirit, a response came in Latin, and it said, et alla corpus delicti. So, among other things, a murder victim. The words floating in midair were invisible when the photo was taken. Seeing things explores the boundary between the known and the unknown. It asks whether something as simple and functional as photographs of record, people at a party, an empty room, an open door can be a gateway to something more. These startling photographs challenge perceptions of reality and art. Is the image of the room with all the ghostly writing the way we see ghosts? Or is it the way ghosts see us? Who is seeing things after all? Come explore these strangely surreal photographs and decide for yourself.
Yeah. So, hold on. Let me say hi to some people. The Daily Beast. Hey, thank you for liking. Hey, Danny. Yeah, I saw that. You were up there. Hey, Andrew. How are you?
Hey.
Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Hey, Gregory. The Radio Vault. Thank you for coming. Mr. David. Hey, Gregory. Did I say hi to Gregory already?
I think
Hi
so, yeah.
again. Okay. So I am going to show some of the pictures, but I wanted to get into one of the guy, the owner of the house was interviewed, and he kind of explained a little bit more about these pictures and how, what happened. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and then as I go, I'll see if I can show the pictures. Um so this is his name is John Huckert. Huckert. And he
Mhm.
says, I had gotten the camera from my father for Christmas, and I don't know. I took some pictures with it, and it was cool to have a Polaroid camera. But I didn't really think about it. And then I was sitting in my house one afternoon, and it was just an average day. And the bathroom door opened, and no one was home. So I sensed that the door was opening by itself. I took the camera and I took a picture. Nothing showed up in the picture, of course. I felt like kind of silly at the time, and I just went back to work. It says back to working. And then I remembered sensing something, and I looked up, and the bathroom door opened in front of me, and it seemed so demonstrative. So I got up, and I was actually nervous because something just felt like it was there. Something was in the air. Something was in the room with me, a tingling kind of sensation, and I started shaking. I picked up the camera and took a picture. And I actually took a picture of like I was shaking so bad. I took a picture of like the top of the television set or something. And then I was like, okay, okay, calm down, calm down. And he laughed. And then I took another picture, and that's when I got the first photograph of this experience. So I'm going to show that first picture. Um, I think it's the picture of the little ghost guy. It looks like a little ghost guy. Hold on, let me go to the ghost guy so you guys can see that. Okay.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, it doesn't look real to me. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, that's the first picture they caught, and it looks like your typical little ghost. Like it kind of reminds me of the ghost from like what is it called, that Ghostbusters? Like those
Oh,
kinds of
yeah,
ghosts,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that was the picture that he took while he was in the bathroom, that from the bathroom door opening, and then he felt something there, and then this is what he captured, which is, I don't know, it does kind of look creepy to me. Does it look creepy to
Yeah, it
you?
looks creepy.
But in the same at the same time, I don't know, like, fudge, like, would you be scared?
Yeah, dude, I would be scared.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't look like, I feel like there's scarier ghosts than this. Like there's
But
been
I feel like the other ghosts that are captured, they look more like humans, you know?
Yeah. And this looks like a smoke blob. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. But like Casper, maybe?
Yeah, but it doesn't look friendly.
Oh, great. Thank you, Bama. I'm so excited. I really want to. I've always wanted a vault shirt, so I'm excited. Okay. So next, let's see. Okay, they're Polaroid photographs. So you basically sit and watch them develop. And as it was developing, I saw this almost a stereotypical version of a ghost. It looks so, the eyes and the big eyes and the screaming mouth and sort of weird wispy. Um, I don't know, the way he kind of talks, I feel like he's kind of nervous. The quality of it is floating in the air, and it looks like going boo or something at you. And I remember like being really nervous about it. And then suddenly I thought, this is my dad messed with the camera or something. That's what this was about. And then I took another picture and almost a similar image, but it was like the thing in the first photograph had moved closer to me. All right, dude. Like that no. Um and it was more like it was larger, and then I started getting like nervous again. I just kept going back and forth between what? incredulous and denial.
Incredulous. Like he didn't believe it.
And
Like,
then when Madgosky got home, I said, I have something I want to show you. What do you think this is? And I showed him the pictures. Okay, and this is the guy that got home, John McCoskey.
Matkowski.
So he shows me these photos, and I'm like, wow, these are really cool. How did you do this? He goes, I just took these pictures and I didn't do it. It was just, it just was. No, you made this up. He says, here, take a picture. So, Huckett, this is Huckett. And so basically they both went over and stood in what is now known as the vortex, but it is an area in front of the bathroom. And he took a picture of me, and over the top of me was this similar type of shape, but it was like a larger and more strange. It felt out of control, like it didn't know what was happening, and I didn't know where to put it in my mind. Then we ran out of film. Okay. After like a month, oh wait, sorry, I skipped one. Okay. Okay. So he said, I need you to stay close and keep the lights turned on. Oh wait, did I just read that? I'm confused. Oh no, yeah, this is the one I just read. Sorry. Okay, after like a month of just sort of sitting with these photographs, we decided to go out and get some more film. We just thought, okay, well, here's the moment we find out whether it's real or not. We tried to take the pictures, and when we'd sense something or feel something, we kind of described it as when you have goosebumps or like a little bit of sunburn, you kind of sense a tingly thing, and then that's when you take the picture. Half of the time we wouldn't get anything, but sometimes we would, and that encouraged us to keep getting more film. And this was what, 3 or 4 months of this. It was too strange, and we're afraid people would think we were nuts, but then it just got too much to not tell anybody about it. Okay, and then so they started thinking, how do we share this? Why would you? People would think we're insane. And Huckett, finally, we decided to invite a bunch of friends over to show them the photographs. We said, we have something to tell you guys, and it's a little strange, but we want to share it with you. So we started showing them the pictures, and they're asking thousands of questions. One of our friends asked, are you here now? If whatever it was here. And he says, well, let's take a picture. All right. And this is what they caught when they asked, are you here now? Right. Let me show you. It's in the bottom. Okay. So let me share it so you guys can see what after they took the picture. Okay. So you can faintly see that it says yes, YES. And so I guess, you have to wait and see what the response was. And so that's what they got. You can see the word yes, and that was the beginning of the communication. It was one thing to get what is that? Ectoplasmic, fluffy white things. And it is another to get communication like an answer to our questions. And then someone grabbed the camera and went, are you what? What are you? What was it? Are you a friend? And then, are you a good ghost or a bad ghost? That's what it was. And then, so, I don't know if I can, let me see if I can share the other. I don't know if there's. The photo came out a single word in the middle of the room, and it said friend. I couldn't find that one, but it did say that it was a friend, that it wasn't like, it didn't say anything bad. And it was clear, not on the photo, in the photo. And they're actually in the photograph. So And then they ask it another question. They're like, what's your name? So they ask it, what's your name? In clear letters you could easily read. When you asked him his name, it clearly said Wright, Wright. So let me show you guys that picture, okay? Because he does say his name. I don't know what I don't. Oh, I think this one's the one that says friend.
Oh yeah, because I was looking at that.
Yeah, let me show you the one that says friend first.
Because I know earlier you were looking at it and I'm like, oh, that
Yeah.
looks like it says friend.
So on that one, you can kind of see that it says friend right there.
Very faint.
Yeah, faintly. Hey, Jean. And then the one where he spelled his name, they asked him, hey, what is your name? Right here, it says help. So that's another picture. See, there's like a few. And then like it gets like really crazy. Oh, I thought I got the one where it had his name. I guess not. There was a picture. Oh, this is the one that was closer. When he took the second one and is it freaking you out?
Yeah.
And then I thought I got the one where it had his name on there, but I guess not. So yeah, the one that had his name, it said Wright, that was his name. Okay. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so we asked where do you go when you're not here? And we took a picture and the photograph said flux. So we thought, oh, I guess he's in a flux, whatever that is. There's one really interesting Polaroid. The question was, are you a ghost or a spirit? Show us what you look like. And this answer was, he says in the Polaroid, not really. So that was pretty interesting. And when that happened, I was thinking, is he not really, or does he think that we are not ready? Are you getting freaked out?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it changed. Oh, wait, no, wait. I lost myself. Okay. With all the people there, it's kind of validated us because we weren't insane and this was happening in front of other people. We're not manipulating the camera or the film in any way. I think it changed a lot of people in a profound level permanently. I remember for like a week, we just kind of would walk around in a daze. What is this again? How do I fit into the way I thought the world worked? We really had never intended to. I guess to go public with it, it was nothing. We really just thought about it and there was a new TV show called Sightings and John was watching it and they had this ghost thing on there and they had a picture of some stuff and John goes, that's not a ghost picture. This is a ghost picture. So we sent a copy of it to Sightings and they called us up and the next thing you know, they wanted to do an hour-long satellite live show from the house. After we did the Sightings episode, it seemed like suddenly we had offers to do quite a few different shows. They took the camera, they examined the camera, they took it to Polaroid and they examined it. They examined all the photos. And yeah, though throughout the years, there have been so many theories on how it's being done, how we do it, and how we created the ghost images. One of my favorite theories, someone said that how the photographs are done is that there is a little person in the basement. And what happens is when you ask questions to the air, they type it in a computer and it is projected through the lasers in the house. And that writes on the photographs instantly. When you started going on about like, I don't know, he keeps saying like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's real easy to just take a pen and write on the back of a Polaroid and it will come through. Has anybody ever tried that? Because if you do, we've tried it and we took a pen and it leaves marks. And doesn't look like anything. It looks like someone took a pen and wrote on a Polaroid. I don't know how the theory was going around, but I don't know. That's what he said. I appreciated all the things the scientists and the FBI agents and everybody did, and the photographic expert to try to disprove it. They even did like a voice analysis on us. Wow. Okay. To find out if we were. Oh, so it was kind of like a lie detector test.
Mm-hmm.
And here he's here for us. He's not here to exploit. I don't know what he means by that. We're not out to make anybody believe anything. This is what's happening to us. Pretty much we stopped all interviews, especially because there's always backlash. All right. So how we're I'm tired. You want to read the rest?
Yeah, let me see.
Eileen's gonna read the rest.
You right here?
I'm right here. How we're
Okay, so he says how we're charlatans and how it can be done and all this other stuff that we're just trying to make a buck off this thing. And really, none of that's true. We're not making any money off this thing. It's a personal thing and we just happen to want to share a little bit off. So it also says there have been people who say, well, we'll give you $100 if you let us take a picture at your house. And that's something we would never do because it's not about that. One of the most meaningful things for me and John were struggling writers, and we would get messages that tell us to persevere, to keep going, and just continue what we're doing, and something good will happen. As creative people, we faced a lot of self doubt, and it can be crippling. At some point, we asked, right, should we keep pursuing what we love, even if it's hard? And he came back with a photograph. He said, dreams and destiny merge. And we thought, you know, it's not about like being successful at the moment. It's about dreaming things and allowing your destiny to present itself. It changed our perspective. The house has a way of letting you know that it's okay to be insecure, but to not ever give up. There's something special happening in my house, and it just makes you feel like small and just insignificant when it comes to the whole world. There's something bigger, something better, something grander. Thanks to John Herkert and John Medwotsky for sharing their story. Check out the website to see the actual Polaroid ghost photos.
It's called snapjudgment.org.
Yeah, and you get a link. There's a link to more information about the Polaroid ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Even to find out what the two Johns are up to now. So you can go there, and there's the story based on them.
So basically, yeah, those are the pictures. I know that there's more pictures, but these are the ones that I found. And I thought they were scary, right? And like this one, I think they invited a group of people because I was checking it out on YouTube. And there was like people from like Fact or Faked. There was people, just people that were skeptics. And they came into the house and they took pictures with their own Polaroid cameras and actually caught stuff. So I think one of them captured this picture that said help. Mm-hmm. I don't know what questions they asked it. And then this one, I don't know. It's like, what are you? And I think this is what he answered in Latin. I don't know. It's creepy. And then this one said he was weak. And then you have like the little ghost. And then this one was when they asked it, like, what should we do? And then open your mind and you will open your heart, right? Like, So I guess it would give them advice. And then, yeah, so there's this picture with the little whimsical little weird things right there. I don't know.
I think that's the one he was talking about where he said he felt energy, and that's probably like all the ghosts.
Yeah, and they took pictures, and then it's like a vortex, right?
Yeah.
And then anything is possible. like he's very inspiring.
Yeah, he has a lot of quotes.
Right? Like he's like a very like
he's
I don't know. I don't know, dude. At first, when I saw this picture, I thought, I'm like, how did Albert Einstein get in there? Dude, I seriously thought that was Einstein. Like, so, what do you guys think about this one? I mean,
what do you guys think?
It was kind of creepy. There was another picture that somebody had taken, one of the guests that were invited, and they said that they captured something that said dig and that he was murdered. And so they thought that maybe he was buried in the basement, and the owners, I mean, didn't want to damage the home. Like they didn't want to like, just go digging, but they ended up, they said that they ended up finding, artifacts like pottery, and they took it to like I don't know, an expert, and that they said that it was native pottery from like a long time ago, and that it looked like it might have been like an Indian burial ground where they built that house. And so that could maybe explain some of the like apparitions or the ghost maybe. But they think that somebody was murdered there and buried there, and then this person was still in the home. And but they also did say that they ended up discontinuing the Polaroid film that they used to use to take these pictures, and so they no longer were able to communicate with the entity after that. And I think that there was a point where he did tell them that he wasn't going to talk to them anymore. And so that was the last time that they communicated with him, and it ended up leaving. But I don't know if the house is still there. I don't know. I honestly, like, it was kind of hard to find information on it. But there is a book. They do have a book. I don't know who wrote it, but it's called Ghost Rider, and you can find it on Amazon. And yeah, I mean, that's all I have. I mean, it's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
Pretty
Did it freak you out?
Yeah, because the messages are very clear,
I know. Like, it almost seems like
somebody wrote
it could
on them.
It could be made. Like, it could be something that somebody came up with, or like, but that to me seems like something more modern, something that we would be able to do now versus back then in the
90s.
In the 90s, where like we didn't have the technology we have now. And so that to me seems kind of impossible. And then the explanations that the experts had, it just seemed way too much. Like who's going to go through all of that just to show, hey, let's hoax people? But you're going to have to go in the basement and then like start smoking through and throwing like some lasers. And I don't know, like it just seems a little very too over the top. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's bizarre, very mysterious, and the messages are very clear. So that's just, I don't know.
Did it feel bad to you? Like it was a bad thing?
I mean, it looked like, it would give him advice, It seemed friendly.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing. Like that's kind of scary.
Like maybe it was like trying to communicate because maybe it did want to be found, right? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it did. Maybe it needed to be found so it can move. Yeah. But then why did it leave if they never found like anything on him? You know what I mean? Did it cross over? Did it just move on to something else? Like it was in this flux thing where it would like be indifferent. I don't know. What if we're the ghosts to it? Like what if
like what if it was living its reality?
And like we're like, or maybe what if it's another dimension, like somebody like, dude, it kind of reminds me of Stranger Things. Remember how they would communicate and write, and it would appear like on lights, like they can write through lights, but they were on a different dimension.
Yeah.
That's creepy. And then how do you really help them?
If you're like in two different.
But why didn't they ask him that? Maybe they did ask him like, hey, how can we help you move on? Do you need to like rest in peace? Like, what do we need to do? And so I don't know. It was confusing to me.
Yeah.
And it was scary. But yeah, you guys, that's all we have for you today. Um, I know that there's going to be a few people going live. I know that Bama said Balt is going to be going live today. They're going to be going to the farm to investigate some Bigfoot sightings and other activity that's going on out there. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. And I think Paranormal Roundtable is live as well. So yeah, so you guys can. We're probably. I will probably be on other chats. So say hi if you see me. But that's all we have for you guys today. We appreciated everybody that came in and said hi and showed up.
Thank you.
But yeah, and have a great weekend, you guys. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Stay safe. Yeah, thank you. And God bless everybody. We appreciate that. And yeah, pray for all of us. Everybody needs it. We all need it. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye, you guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.